Good morning, one and all. I welcome all for today's lecture on data science process. What is data science process and what are the various steps involved in the process of data science? The standard data science process involves the following 5 steps. Number 1 is understanding the problem. That is, you must clearly understand the problem which you are going to solve. Number 2 is preparing the sample data. That is, you must prepare a data set which is more relevant to the problem which you are going to solve. That is number 2. Coming to step 3, developing the model. That is, whatever the data you have prepared or collected in step 2, using that data you are going to develop or construct a model. So that is what we call developing the model, which is a very important step in any data science problem solving process. Next, coming to step 4, applying the model on a data set to see how the model may work in the real world problems. That generally we take some test data set. With the help of the test data set, we are going to test the performance of the model by using some measures like accuracy, precision, recall, F-score measure, etc. Once the model performs well with the real world data, that is deploying and maintaining the model. So that is the model you are going to use to solve any kind of data science problem relevant to that domain. See, this is how we are going to process or solve a data science problem. Next, coming to what we have discussed in the last slide is about the standard data science problem solving process. When you come to a generic data science problem solving process, which I have shown the following figure. That is, there are 2 kinds of understandings are there. One is about the business understanding of the problem and data understanding of the problem. So in business understanding, you must understand about the problem, that is what is a given problem and what we are going to predict using data science. That kind of understanding what we call business understanding. Whereas data understanding is to solve the problem. What kind of data is needed? From where we may get the data? What are the features we must consider in our data? So, you must understand everything about data. That is called data understanding. By using this both kind of understanding, you are going to prepare the data. Once data is prepared, that is what we call in our generic step is data preparation, step 2. Step 1, what I explained, is about business understanding and data understanding. For that we need some prior knowledge, so we call that step as prior knowledge. Once the data is prepared, then we are going to build a model by using some training algorithms. So the training algorithms, there are so many algorithms are available. We can use some algorithm and a training data set. With the help of training data set, we are going to build the model. What is training data set? Training data set is a data set in which we have set of input variables and an output variable for each data object in my data set. That is, for each record there must be a class label. Then we call the data is training data. We use such kind of data for building a model. So this is for the kind of supervised learning algorithms. So in the last lecture we have discussed about types of problems in data science. There I classified the data science problems into supervised and unsupervised. So what I said about the training data and algorithms for building a model is for supervised learning problem. When you take unsupervised learning problem, again we are going to use a training data. That data need not have output variable. Only input variables are there. That's enough. Using that data, we are going to construct a model for unsupervised learning problems or unsupervised learning algorithms. So this is a very important step in the process of solving a data science problem, because what kind of problem you are going to solve, based on that you are going to choose the algorithm. Then based on the algorithm and training data set, we are constructing the model. So we must be clear about the problem, whether it is a supervised learning problem or unsupervised learning problem. And the algorithm is supervised learning algorithm or unsupervised learning algorithm. So there are so many algorithms are there for supervised learning and unsupervised learning. I already stated some few examples in the last class. Again I will say, for supervised learning algorithm, examples are classification algorithms such as decision tree classification model, Bayes-John classification model, and backpropagation classification model, rule-based classification model. Again, support vector mission, k nearest neighbor classification, case-based reasoning classification, rupture theory classification, etc. Not only classification, prediction problems also comes under supervised learning. That is regression analysis or regression based models, linear regression model, non-linear regression model, multilinear regression model. These are some of the examples for solving regression problem, which is for prediction. And time series analysis is also a kind of supervised learning problem. Coming to unsupervised learning problem, I said clustering. So many clustering algorithms are there. K-means clustering algorithm, K-means clustering algorithm, hierarchical clustering algorithm, under that agglomerative hierarchical clustering, divisive hierarchical clustering, again density based clustering algorithms such as DB-scan, grid based clustering algorithms, neural network based clustering algorithm, again model based clustering algorithm, clustering algorithm with higher dimensional data, etc. Summarization, mining association rules, frequent item sets, finding sequence data, all these are examples for unsupervised learning problem. So what kind of problem you are going to solve, based on that you must choose your algorithm and your training data, then we construct corresponding model. Once the model is constructed, then you are going to evaluate the performance of the model by using some test data. Test data is a data, again this test data we choose for supervised learning some kind of test data, unsupervised learning some other kind of test data. Let me take example, supervised learning. The test data is a data again having set of input variables and an output variable. The output variable must be there for each data objects in your data set, and that data set you are going to give as input to the model which we have constructed in step 3, and the model will give output, that what we call predicted output. Then the predicted output and the target output which is already there in your test data, both you are comparing how many data objects are classified? If you take a classification problem, it is classified correctly. Based on that, we evaluate the performance of your model. There are so many measures we are using to evaluate the performance of the model. For supervised learning problems, accuracy, precision, recall, YAP score, specificity, sensitivity, etc. Similar way, we have measures to evaluate the performance of unsupervised models. Once the performance of your model is good, then you are entering into deployment of the model. That is, that model you are going to use to solve any new kind of data. Next, coming to the last step, knowledge and actions. So here, once the model is deployed, then for that model you are going to give a new data set, that is a data set with only input variables. The model will predict the output for each data objects in the case of supervised learning problem. Okay, this is about data science problem solving process. We will continue the lecture in the next session. Thank you, one and all.